everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I would love to have you as part of the family. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so that you don't miss another video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made these two decorative trays using some Dollar Tree items as well as some stuff from Amazon. And if you want to see how I made them, go ahead and keep on watching. So let's get started on this DIY. So the first thing you're going to need is this acrylic tray from the Dollar Tree. Some of these supplies right there: scissors, glue gun, glue stick, and then this wire metal ribbon that I got off of Amazon. I will link it down below. It's very nice, it's bendable and very easy to work with. It just has little sharp edges, so just be careful. I'm also going to be using some acrylic gems. I used that in my last project. I got this from Walmart. So to get started, I'm just going to take off the wrapping of this acrylic storage tray from the Dollar Tree. Next, I'm going to take the wire ribbon and start measuring how much ribbon I'm going to need. So I'm just going to bend it along the edges and make it really nice and snug, just to measure the amount of ribbon that I'm going to have to use. Once I've had that figured out, I'm going to cut along the end there. And I found the best place to cut was between the two little holes that are in the oval section. They're one above, one below the oval in the design. Once I have my piece, it's time to attach it on. And if I have any excess, as you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off, just leaving a little bit of extra so I can tuck it under the other end so it gives me a nice smooth finish. As you can see here, I can bend the other end and tuck the previous end underneath, and then you have a nice smooth edge. The edge is sharp, so when bending it, use like a towel or something, or gloves, to prevent you from cutting yourself. Now it's time to attach the ribbon. I'm going to be using hot glue as well as some E6000 to make sure it doesn't pop off. The hot glue I'm using is the Gorilla Hot Glue, which is the strongest one I found, but on some projects I have seen it pop off. So just to reinforce the hot glue, I'm going to be also using E6000. I'm adding the glue on the areas of the design that are that don't have the space, so that way the glue doesn't show through. The hot glue that I'm using also dries clear, so you won't see it on the other side. Make sure that if you are using glue, use a glue that is clear so that it doesn't show on the other end of the acrylic tray. Now I'm putting the E6000 to reinforce it. Again, I'm just using it on the part of the design that is, it doesn't have holes. So finally, I'm just going to add some hot glue along the top edge and then securing it down. So I just add glue gradually and then press it down just to secure it in place. And I'm going to do that all along the edge of the ribbon, just to make sure that there are no gaps between the ribbon and the tray. Once that is glued down, you can see on the edge there, I'm just going to press it down to give it that smooth finish. Any areas that are protruding, just using a little bit of paper to protect my fingers from getting cut. You can also use some pliers or something else. Now to finish this off, I'm going to be using these acrylic gems from Walmart. I'm lining them up with the edge of the ribbon, and I'm covering those holes where you could put some nail head trim or some other decorative piece there. I'm just going to use the acrylic gems to just give it a nice finish. Hot glue works fine with the acrylic gems, but you could also use the clear tacky glue. I found that that's worked really well with these gems. So working my way around, I keep adding more gems to cover up those little holes, and I'm going to do it all along the sides of the ribbon so that the entire tray is covered. Next, to give my little tray some feet, I'm using these clear marbles from the Dollar Tree. And I'm also going to be using hot glue and E6000 to reinforce. Just be careful with the webbing because it's kind of hard to remove the excess glue. I've used acetone and that's worked okay, but you just don't want it to get all cloudy. As you can see here, it gets all smudged. So just be careful when adding the glue. E6000, not my favorite to work with because it just tends to ooze out of the tube. But I'm using both the hot glue and E6000 just to make sure that I have a nice secure fit, because you don't want those legs just popping off and everything falling apart. So once I've added the marbles on all four corners and I have my four little legs and secured them in place, this is what I ended up with. And then once it's cleaned off, this is the final result. I think it's absolutely so gorgeous, so cute, perfect for putting like your hand soap and lotion dispenser. And I have that over by my sink. I think it looks just beautiful. The second project I'm going to be using is this 11 by 14 frames from the Dollar Tree. They are wood or some sort of particle board. It's a very soft material, and there is a reason for that. I'm also going to be using this mirror that is 11 by 13. Is the largest one that I could find, but it fits in this frame very nicely. And the first step is to remove the tabs from one of the frames, because I'm going to have a frame one above and one below for my mirrored tray. And then again, I'm going to be using the ribbon and I'm going to measure all along the side, pressing it down, making it nice and snug so that I know how much ribbon I need in order to make the entire border. Once I've measured it down, I went ahead and cut right in the middle through the oval shape of the design. I'm also going to be using these thumbtacks. They're just regular push pins that you would use on a message board, and I found that they work really well with this frame and they're not very hard to push in. So now to secure the ribbon, I'm going to use the thumbtacks and put them right through the little holes that are in the ribbon. So right along the edge, I line everything up and make sure it is straight. And the first one is the most critical one because it's going to determine the straightness of the ribbon. So you want to go ahead and push that right in. Again, not very hard to do at all when you use this type of frame because the wood is not very hard. The hardest part really is to handle the small push pins with long nails. So I went ahead and started adding these push pins, and I'm going to add it all along the edge one by one through the holes, as you can see here. Once my push pins were in place, this is what it looks like. And when it came down to the final edge, I just kind of left it open so that I could add the second frame right above. I did this because I didn't want the metal ribbon to like bend in case like, you know, it was picked up or moved around. So I wanted to secure it on both ends, on both sides. So I just slid the second frame on the top and started using the push pins again to secure it in place so that it really gave it more sturdiness. So using the same method, I lined up the ribbon with the frame and added the push pins through the holes. Once I have all my push pins in, this is what the frame looks like. Now during construction you might scrape it, and the silver finish is different on both ends. So I'm going to go ahead and spray paint that, but right before I'm going to cut off the edge there, just like I did on my previous tray, just leaving a little bit of excess so that I can tuck the one end under the other. And I'm just going to use my scissors to cut this excess off. Once that was cut, and you can see it gives you a really nice clean end, I just tucked one piece under the other, and then I used my pliers just to make sure nothing was sticking out, because like I said, those edges are a little bit sharp and they could cut your skin or cut somebody if they want to move the tray. Now I'm going to go outside and spray paint this a second time just to take care of any kind of scraping that may have had happen throughout the building process. Now that it is spray painted, it's time to add the mirror to the back. So I'm using this 11 by 13 mirror. It fits perfectly when it's in its own frame. I did not flip it over to see if the frame showed through, but it was a little bit difficult to push the tabs down. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the frame and just take the mirror portion. As you can see, this frame is really flimsy and it's very easy to just pull it right off. So I'm just going to pull that off. And once it's pulled off, I'm going to go ahead and add some glue on the edges of the frame just to secure the mirror in place and it doesn't move and slide around. Once I added my hot glue, I went ahead and placed the mirror, making sure that it was center. And I'm also going to use the back of the frame to add extra security and sturdiness to the frame, because the mirror is really thin and I wouldn't want anything to break the mirror when I place it on top. So I wanted something to give it more sturdiness and more body. So after I added a little bit of Windex and cleaned it off, this is what my mirror tray looks like. It is so pretty. It looks like something you get at the store. It does not look like a DIY at all. Absolutely love this. I have it in my guest bathroom and it looks so gorgeous. It's just stunning. I think this mirrored tray is so beautiful, and this ribbon is just a godsend, and it's really, really easy to work with. So that's it, you guys, for my DIYs today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you did. Follow me on social media if you don't already do. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. God bless. Bye-bye.